No, look, there's I always say I respect Terence Crawford. He's a very talented fighter, but he just win one big fight. If you see his record, he just beat one good fighter like Errol Spence is.
Yes.
But other than that, I don't think he's beating other great fighter like Spence. He did a really good job with the Spence. He did like almost look very easy.
But I'm gonna go with Canelo because he didn't hold Turkey's hand.
It's two things that you can do with somebody bigger and stronger. You know, you can either try to push them back, you know, because 9 times out of 10, a strong fighter not used to going back.
Canelo Alvarez had some respectful words for Terence Crawford after his recent knockout wins. He praised Crawford for how easily he handled Errol Spence, calling it a strong performance. Still, Canelo noted that Spence is really the only big-name fighter Crawford has beaten so far, casting some doubt on the rest of his resume. Looking ahead, Canelo kept things simple, saying when they finally face off, the world will see what's what. Fans are now left buzzing, waiting to see how it all plays out.
Are you tired of people asking you about Terence yet?
No, look, I always say I respect Terence Crawford. He's a very talented fighter, but he just win one big fight. If you see his record, he just beat one good fighter like Errol Spence is.
Yes.
But other than that, I don't think he's beating other great fighter like Spence. He did a really good job with the Spence. He did like almost look very easy. But I knew Terence Crawford is a great fighter. But you never know in boxing. We'll see.
Canelo hinted that he already has a good read on Crawford's style and strategy, showing confidence in how he's preparing for the fight. With a smile, he mentioned that Turki Alalshik, who'll be in Crawford's corner, might not be too happy on fight night. That little detail adds even more tension and makes the matchup feel even more personal.
You're going to be able to do about it come fight night.
I know Turkey is in your corner,
I promise you.
But look, it's going to be very difficult. He's going to be so mad that day. Believe me.
I see you. I see you. You see I'm different.
I see you too.
Canelo's choice to bring in Jaron Ennis for sparring is being praised as a smart, strategic move. According to Johnny Ortiz, Ennis closely mirrors Terence Crawford's size and style, making him an ideal training partner. This gives Canelo the chance to study Crawford's rhythm, movement, and physical strengths up close, while also fine-tuning his own timing and defense. At the same time, Ennis benefits too, gaining valuable experience by working with a seasoned fighter like Canelo. Ortiz calls it a win-win, saying it's a rare setup where both fighters grow, making the whole plan a smart play.
It makes sense, and it's definitely a good experience for both. Eddie Reynoso and Canelo, shout out to them because now it shows that they serious with a real game plan, and Boots is, to me, everybody's a perfect opponent, I wouldn't say opponent, perfect sparring partner to have to replicate Crawford because they both switch hitters and stuff like that, and they got dog in them and reflexes for sure. So it shows Canelo serious, and on Boots end, to be able to spar a Hall of Famer, top tier guy, it gave him great experience, and you could tell he really wants. It's a sport where Boots is getting an opportunity to spar a Hall of Famer. Who cares? And in reality, what the fuck loyalty does Boots owe to Crawford when it comes to the sport of boxing? I mean, Crawford didn't do shit even back while Boots was trying to get his opportunity when it was Spence and Crawford. Every time Boots' name got mentioned, you heard the Bud Clowns be like, oh yeah, he don't deserve it. Oh, who did he fight? Oh, who this and that, man. I ain't trying to hear that shit. It's like different shit that you need to be woke up outside of boxing. Boxing is a sport. There's shit that we need to really come together. I didn't see y'all come together like 5 years. The Bud Clowns, because it's real fans, the Bud Clowns is bashing PBC. Everything Boots, when you bring up Boots' name, putting him down, I didn't hear like, oh yeah, instead of fighting Canelo or fighting this person, he should fight Boots.
Josie Benavidez praised Canelo Alvarez for bringing in Jaron "Boots" Ennis as a sparring partner, calling it a smart and valuable decision. He pointed out that Ennis shares key traits with Terence Crawford, like body type, movement, and overall style, which helps Canelo get mentally locked in for what he'll face on fight night. Benavidez also mentioned that Crawford's smaller size could be a factor once they are in the ring. Training with someone as strong and similar as Ennis doesn't just sharpen Canelo's skills, it also builds his confidence, making him feel like he already holds the edge before the fight even begins.
To give Canelo maybe a little bit more confidence that he is sparring somebody really good. Ennis is a really good fighter, and I think that would be a good motivation, for Canelo Alvarez. I just think that Crawford is too small for Canelo. I think Canelo's too big for Crawford. But in my opinion, I think if Crawford could maybe just tap, get out, tap, hook, get out, maybe once in a while throw a straight punch and just win by points and use his legs, I think I see him winning by decision. But if he tries to exchange with Canelo Alvarez, I think he's going to make a mistake and he's going to get hit with one shot and maybe he can get hurt and that would change the whole fight, But I think he's faster. Crawford is faster and a straight punch, get out, Don't stay there to throw or try to trade with Canelo Alvarez.
Okay. Fair to say. Fair to say. Now, do you feel like when it comes down to the demeanor of making that decision of bringing it in, does it show that he's taking this camp perhaps a little bit more serious than others? I mean, what do you think about just the move per se?
It's very difficult to say. He's never brought anybody really good to his camp until this time. Maybe he's lacking out of confidence, or maybe he just wants to use them to trick the people, or, it's very awkward and very funny that he brought Ennis to his camp, So, but at the end of the day, they know what they're doing, and we gotta respect that. And I think
boxing has entered a new era, with streaming platforms now breaking records for live events. The Netflix fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson pulled in a staggering 65 million viewers, making it the most watched boxing match ever. That moment proved the global hunger for combat sports is much bigger than many expected. Now, all eyes are on the upcoming showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, which has the potential to top even those massive numbers. But this fight is about more than just two stars going head-to-head, it's about making history on a global stage. Fans around the world are waiting to see if this matchup can create even more buzz than the Jake versus Mike spectacle.
Like Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, which was obviously on Netflix as well, the biggest concurrent view was, I think, 65 million. So at one stage of a time, 65 million people were watching that fight, which is crazy, hence why it broke Netflix servers. I do wonder what this does. I think it does around 10 to 15, which is still an incredible number. The problem with these two, and I was saying this morning actually to Gareth A. Davis, like, there's no antagonizer here, is there? No one is willing to play the role of the bad guy, the heel, the bully. And you almost need that a little bit. Like Jake Paul was actually quite smart in the way in which he promoted the Tyson fight. Obviously, look, it's Mike Tyson, but it was promoted so well where Jake was willing to be the guy that, I'm going to fuck up the greatest fighter of all time. He was willing to kind of say all those things and play that role. So people almost tuned in to see him get chinned as well. Neither of these guys are playing that role. Neither of these guys, I don't think, have crossed over massively to non-boxing fans. I mean, to us, they're like gods, but to non-boxing fans, I do wonder how much people know them.
Terence Crawford has never been one to shy away from tough opponents, and his approach to facing Canelo reflects just how seriously he takes strategy. He recognizes the challenge of going up against a bigger fighter but believes there are smart ways to handle it. One key tactic? Forcing the bigger man to move backward. According to Crawford, most larger fighters are used to controlling the fight by pressing forward, so when that dynamic flips, it puts them in unfamiliar territory.
It's two things that you can do with somebody bigger and stronger. You can either try to push them back, because 9 times out of 10, a strong fighter not used to going back, so it kind of fucks them up in the head, Yeah. Or you can just box them because some of them just slower than others because they got flat feet and they just looking to load up on certain shots.
Now, Crawford's definitely right here. There's two ways to beat a pressure fighter like Canelo. Either you put the pressure back on him, which is where guys like Triple G and Bivol had success, or you use your superior skills and footwork on the outside, which is how Floyd Mayweather won. Now, Crawford, he can't use the pressure approach because he's not as physically dominant as guys like Golovkin or Bivol. You know, Bud is a welterweight or junior middleweight jumping up. He doesn't have the size to push Canelo back. Now, the outside boxing approach, that is definitely Crawford's best chance against Canelo.
Pushing bigger opponents backward throws off their rhythm. That's just the first part of Crawford's plan. The second is to wear them down and take advantage when they become flat-footed, a common issue for naturally heavier fighters. Crawford's grasp of these tactics shows just how smart and calculated he is in the ring. He knows winning isn't just about being tough, it's about turning weaknesses into opportunities. His entire training camp has been focused on this approach, sharpening his conditioning and strategy as he gears up for the biggest fight of his career.
Canelo does struggle to cut off the ring at times. We saw that in the Skull fight. And he does load up on single shots now. But at the same time, Crawford is not the same pure boxer that Floyd Mayweather was. You know, Mayweather rarely got hit in that shell. And his form of countering, you know, a pull counter, for example, was, I'm not going to get touched and then I'll make you pay. Whereas Crawford's style of counterpunching is different. Bud will take one to throw 2 or 3 back. And he can't do that against Canelo because of the size and power difference. If Bud takes a clean right hand to throw back an uppercut or a hook, he's either going to get dropped or he's going to end up on his bike like Jermell Charlo. So while I do agree Crawford does have the superior skill set in this fight, but because he doesn't have the size to push Canelo back, or the defense of someone like Mayweather to stay perfect for 12 rounds on the outside, I do think Canelo's size and power will make the difference in this fight. And that's why I like Canelo to win.